killer before intermission. Please welcome, you're gonna love this person, Sharon Ka.
Would you like a soapbox?
You gotta get closer.
Did you hear she said, would you like a
I
soapbox?
heard you were tools.
What? I must have been 3 or maybe 4 years old when my mother and I were on a streetcar in Winnipeg. And a disabled man walked down the center aisle. "That man walks funny," I said. People glared at my mother, and she was so embarrassed. She gave me a good talking to. That's what we called it in our house, a good talking to, when I got home. The next time we got on a streetcar and a disabled man came aboard, I said, "Mom, I wouldn't say that man walks funny, would I?" The taboos we have about even mentioning disabilities or serious illnesses are confusing even for an adult. I mean, our mothers taught us, don't poke fun at sick people. But you go to a hospital where the sickest people are, and in their own gift shop are racks of jokey cards and making fun of just about everything related to your stay. And even there are some fine lines you don't cross. You could send a jokey card to somebody who was going to have their gallbladder out, but not to somebody who had just been diagnosed with cancer. Some things you can joke about, some things you can't. There was an elderly man who went in for his annual physical, and when he was done, the doctor asked if he could speak to the wife in private. He said, "Your husband is in excellent health." But he said something that bothers me. He said, when he gets up to go to the bathroom at night, God turns the light on for him. And when he's done, God turns the light off again. "Oh no," said the wife. "He's been peeing in the refrigerator again." You reprehensible people, you. Not 60 seconds ago, I said, don't laugh. And there you are, laughing your butts off. And it wasn't like you thought about it and thought, "No, is this funny or is it not?" It was a split second from the end of my story to the beginning of your laughter. That tells me that the taboos are really deeply buried in our subconscious, and we act on them automatically without even thinking. My dad walked funny for years before he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and Parkinson's disease gets the cake when we're talking about walking funny. It's a movement disorder where you gradually use your ability to move. It's incurable. Nobody knows what causes it. There's no treatment for it except to alleviate some of the symptoms. It was 10 years after my father died that I looked in the bathroom mirror one day and I saw the face of Parkinson's looking back at me. I knew that face so well. It was 5 years before it was officially confirmed by a neurologist that I had Parkinson's disease, and I began to get my affairs in order. I resigned from all the committees I hated. I went on disability and quit my job at the university, which I've been having a real struggle with the last 3 years. I gave my son power of attorney, I updated my will, I planned my memorial service, I picked out the songs and the Bible verses, I wrote my obituary, and I cleaned my closet. I I did everything it was possible to do to be prepared for the day when I died. I did nothing to plan my life, how I was going to live the rest of my life. And it's been 12 years since that diagnosis. That's a long time to sit around whining about what you can't do anymore. I went to visit my cousins one day, Stan and Judy, and we were having a nice conversation. Their wash machine went into the spin cycle and it vibrated so hard the whole room was shaking. And Stan said, "You know, Judy, either Sharon's Parkinson's is a lot worse, or we're going to have to fix that washing machine." I howled with laughter. It was a stupid joke, but it was the first time anybody had the guts to joke about Parkinson's to my face. Usually if the word comes up, everybody looks at me with concern on their face and tries to think of something polite to say where their minds are really racing, wanting to know, like, is it fatal? Are you going to die or what? Yo, dudes, life is fatal. Parkinson's doesn't get me, something else will, and it'll get you too, by the way. I'm not up here all by myself. You're right here beside me. Somehow, the joke put a little psychological distance between me and Parkinson's disease and tipped the balance of power just a little bit in my direction. I liked the way I felt when I gave Parkinson's the finger. Here are 7 of them, one for each day of the week. Read between the lines. I decided to go and start to find some jokes of my own that I could tell. One night I was watching Saturday Night Live, and there was a rap about Sarah Palin or somebody. And I became obsessed with the idea that I too should be a rapper. Now there are any number of reasons why an old white woman shouldn't aspire to a career as a rapper. Nevertheless, when you have Parkinson's disease, you act a little wimpy. You have a little tremor and you walk a little gimpy. With Parkinson's, you ache a lot, you shake a lot, and when you fall, your bones break a lot. But when you're really on the spot, you know you're tough and take a lot. When I say Parkinson's, you say, don't give in. Parkinson's!
Don't give in!
Parkinson's!
Don't give in!
Parkinson's people fall easily too. You just demonstration. I rapped at support groups, I rapped at conferences, I rapped at service clubs, and if you have an organization that invites speakers, I'll rap there too. And I learned the cardinal rule about the taboos against mentioning diseases. If you have the disease, you can tell all the jokes you want. So go ahead, laugh at my jokes. Why do men with Parkinson's keep slapping their hips?
Why?
They think their phone is vibrating and it's really bad. How do people with Parkinson's like their martini? Shaken, not stirred. What do you call a bull with Parkinson's disease? Beef jerky!
That's bad.
Well, our hands are shaky and our pace is slow and we have hallucinations and our feet won't go. But if we can laugh at ourselves without much fuss, we may have Parkinson's. It'll never have us. When I say Parkinson's, you say don't give in. Parkinson's!
Don't give in!
Parkinson's!
Don't give in!
Parkinson's!
Don't give in!
I'm down with that.
break and we'll talk about